All right, guys. Welcome to Dragon Drive News, episode January 14th, 2023. I can't believe this is the second time we've done this for this year. It's been pretty wild. We are so busy right now. I'm so excited. But anyways, today's show, excuse me. Today's show is late and it's going to be short. All right, so we got to get into it. My youngest daughter is not feeling well, and my oldest daughter's birthday party is later today, so I really got to get to work on that stuff. Guys, if you enjoy the stuff that we provide, please run over to dragondrive.com/shop and pick up some merch if you want to help support a little bit. We have a ton of travel coming up and would love to see some Dragon Drive merch out in the world. So that's exciting. I am looking forward to our first event is Sick Week that we'll be attending for 2023. And we've got a ton of Dragon Drive event news later. Whew. All right. I want to say the Dragon Drive show on Wednesday is going to be crazy. If you watched last week, we had Brian Lohnes and Mike Finnegan on. We have a game-changing announcement that'll come during that episode. I'm not telling you what it is, but I'm telling you, you'll want to be on there. The first half of the show is this announcement and guests that are surrounding it. And then the second half, we are talking to Cameron Thorpe, who is our feature for Built for Dragon Drive this week. We're talking to him about the Volvo and what it takes to be the nation's most competitive Dragon Drive racer. He completed 4 national events in 2022. So we're going to cover all that stuff here in just a minute. I will say the guests at the beginning of the show on Wednesday are going to be their new race car friends. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's jump into Built for Dragon Drive. But brought to you by our friends at Sweet Patina. I completely lost my place on my notes here. Y'all, Sweet Patina has been amazing to us. They've got a big year coming up. They're going to be at the C10 Nationals in Texas in May. You've got to get over to that show and see them. But they've also allowed our followers to have a discount code DND57 at checkout, get you a discount, get you a 10% discount on anything you purchase from sweetpatina.com. Especially, guys, you've got to get over and get your TKO hand cleaning wipes because you know you're going to be wrenching on your stuff getting ready for an event coming up. So jump over DND57 as your discount code on sweetpatina.com. Love those guys over there. They've got a Patina 57 wagon. How could you not like them? All right, here we go. Oh, man. We got some folks already talking about race week in there. We'll get to that in just a minute, I promise. On the NHRA Insider podcast this week with Brian Lohnes, Clay Millican, yes, Clay Millican, said they built the Dentley truck for, it was literally built for Dragon Drive. His plan is to attend Drag Week in 2023 if the schedule doesn't interfere with his professional drag racing career. So my question to you is, can a truck with a twin turbo Hemi driven by one of the fastest race car drivers take down Lutz's 6-year record? Guys, come on. We need somebody to hang a low 6-second average on a national Dragon Drive event so we can maybe get Lutz back. I think once his record falls, I think we will see him again. So someone tag Clay Millican, tell him we're talking about him over here in Dragon Drive, and that we would love to see him in the event. Love to see him in any event this upcoming year, especially in Dentley, because, guys, it's a crew cab Dodge truck. I mean, who doesn't like a big truck that goes fast as well? Our Built for Dragon Drive feature this week is Cameron Thorpe and his Volvo wagon, 10-second car. So this is going to be a quick recap of his Dragon Drive history because he's going to be on the Dragon Drive show Wednesday night. We're going to dive deep. So make sure you ask questions and ask what it takes to compete in 4 national events in 2022. Guys, he put almost 12,000 miles on his tow rig and the car during the year competing in these events. So I think I first saw the car on Sloppy Mechanics back in, I think it was 2018 or 2019, as he was beginning to build it. I really wanted to build a Volvo wagon at that time. So that was a big part of my research then. And his car certainly popped up and is a favorite of mine. So I think he was talking about Hot Rod Drag Week 2019. But seeing the car at Race Week 2020 was the first time I actually saw it in person. y'all, the car's super cool. The dude is super cool. The car's really cool. 9-inch rear, Mosier 9-inch rear. It's got big tires, 275 tires on the back. It looks really great. It's an LS swap. We'll get some details internal of the engine. It's got an LSA on top of it. It's got a 4L80 and then a Mosier 9-inch axle with a ladder bar setup in the back. So I'm kind of excited to hear why he went that route and not maybe like a parallel 4-link or something like that. So it's going to be really a fun story getting to know all of that. The car's history is a perfect example of what happens when you have a car that runs more than one event. Okay, this is what I say all the time about guys: build a car, sort it, take it on an event, or sort it at an event. I don't care. Then go home and make updates, right? It just like Freiberger says all the time, it doesn't have to be right, just running, right? You've got to get through. You've got to make you can't be finishing up a car at an event and be tired. Anyways, we'll get into all that later. Here you go. This car is perfect. His 2022 events, fastest average ever is 10.511. Ran that at Sick Week 2022. He is coming back for 2023, so that's exciting. And then Rocky Mountain Race Week 2022, he averaged an 11.219. He generally runs the 11.0 index. We'll find out why he does that. I think it's probably because of elevation and the car would slow down a little bit than what it would be at South Georgia Motorsports Park. So Sick Week 10.5, Rocky Mountain Race Week or 1.0 at 11.219. Race Week placed third in the 11.0 index with an 11.039. Hot Rod Drag Week, which was his first drag week to compete in that I can find, 10.639 for Drag Week 2022. Again, 12,000 miles, almost 12,000 miles were put on the car and his tow rig during 2022 to compete in these events. And guys, these are national level events. We had other racers compete in 4 drag and drive events throughout the year, but he is the only one to compete in 4 national events, which are 4-day or longer events. Some history on the car, previous events history. Rocky Mountain Race Week was his first event with for 2019. He averaged a 13.080 then, which I think is pretty interesting because you go to Rocky Mountain Race Week 2020 and he runs a 12.036, so dropped more than a second off of his average time, and he took first place in the 12.0 index class for Rocky Mountain Race Week. It's pretty amazing. Then 2020 kicked off the race week events because drag week canceled. So he ran an 11.043. So from June to September, he dropped another almost full second, ended up in third place for the 11.0 index on race week 2020. Y'all, do you understand that means there are 2 people in front of him that have a closer to 11.0 record or closer to 11.0 average than an 11.043 across 5 days of racing? Crazy. And I don't think at that point he had ever raced at those tracks because he is from Colorado. So being new tracks and new altitudes and all the stuff, and ends up third in 11.0 index. Pretty amazing. Rocky Mountain Race Week 2021, he ran an 11.083. Race Week 2021, he ran an 11.068. So in 3 years, he has competed in 9 drag and drive events. It's astonishing. This car is built for drag and drive. You can find him on Instagram is probably the best place. He rarely posts car stuff on Facebook. He rarely even posts on Facebook, but his Instagram page is always full of cars, pictures of the car and updates of what he's doing and things like that. You can find it on Instagram at Brickedover 6.0. Now you can go down into the comments and get how that is spelled, but it's BRICKD over OVER 6.0. So go over, make sure you're following him on Instagram. It's a great follow. Always has tons of cool stuff. What I'd like you to do is drop your questions for Cameron in the comments of this post or video. That way I can snag them throughout the week and we can ask them on Wednesday night. Again, this is a guy that competed in 4 week-long drag and drive events in 2022. No one else did that this year or in 2022. It's absolutely insane. I can't imagine. And I'll give you a tidbit. He did just say that the car just got back from the chassis shop. So we'll find out what that means on Wednesday night as well. I do want to say thank you to Sweet Patina for bringing you guys Built for Drag and Drive. This is such a fun segment that I don't feel like I do enough of. Built for Drag and Drive is what we do. It's what everybody is at home doing. There's a lot of folks that are in the comments here talking about the events they got into. So I know everybody's wrenching. I know everybody, there are literally so many cars right now being built for a drag and drive event that it's absolutely insane. And a lot of cars being converted from full race cars into drag and drive cars. So I love that. Let's jump into the comments here. We'll talk to some folks real quick. This is probably the joy of being live, is we can do this. So got some folks tagging Clay Millican here. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Oh man, Nick Deal said he's a little disappointed he didn't make the cut on Rocky Mountain Race Week. We're going to talk about how fast it sold out here in just a minute. We got Jesse Harrison here, one of the fastest C10 truck, fastest diesel C10 truck. I don't know. We're going to say something like that. But I love those guys. Him and his wife are amazing people. Saw them at PRI and got a couple selfies and about 10 minutes of conversation. Got a Facebook user here saying the Thorpes are great peeps. Now, when you see Facebook user, sorry, it's over there, right here. When you see Facebook user, it does mean you need to give StreamYard permission. And that also means they are in the Drag and Drive Addiction Facebook group. So if you're not there, we are about to cross 10,000 members, I guess is what you call Facebook group people. We got Trevor Brandon here. They're in for Rocky Mountain Race Week. That is exciting. I'm trying to figure out my schedule for 1.0 or 2.0, which one I'm going to attend. Stephen is a veteran or a previous attendee of 2.0, so we may do 2.0 as a team for Narcoleptic and the MG, and then Mike at Drag and Drive for coverage. And then the Javelin, yes, belongs to Bryant Goldstone. He did send me a picture last night of his Drag and Drive Addiction Top 100 decal. It is on the back window. I can't believe it's so freaking amazing to see all the decals that are out in the world. It's pretty cool. All right. And yes, you will see me at Sick Week, Duck Hunter TV. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I fly in Sunday night at midnight. So I'm going straight to the hotel and drink beers with people in the parking lot for a little bit, and then right into the room and go to sleep. And I'll be there bright and early on Monday morning. All right. We got David Maxon here saying we're trying to get the Throwing Fours S10 ready for April. Yes, we're going to talk about the circuit updates here in a little bit as well. And then Push to the Limit said he did make it into Rocky Mountain Race Week. So congratulations to you, sir. Appreciate that. That is so awesome. I love the Impala rear-wheel drive conversion, turbo LS. I mean, who wouldn't like that? All right, guys, here we go. We got one last comment here. Says, in the garage, listening now while building my trailer. So that's the next question. Who runs trailers within your drag and drive events, and who is a yard seller, and who runs just a basket? All right, guys. Let's jump into Drag and Drive event updates. Now, we are currently looking for a sponsor for this segment. I think it would be fun for somebody to come on and chop this up with me as we go through every week. A reminder, as I go through the events below, national level race events are 4+ days of racing. Regional are 1 to 3 as of right now, 2 to 3 right now. And then we're also going to track single day race events. Like King of the Open Road is a great example. So I think there will be more of that type of event that comes as people begin to, use the term drag and drive for these kind of events and this style of racing and this style of fun, because there are already cruises. There are already people that say at the track, can we add another few hundred people to the drag and drive community? Because they, like King of the Open Road race, they drive on Saturday and race on Sunday. So it really is a single day event when you look at comparative to other events. Now, for racers to be on, for events and racers to be populated on the draganddrive.com fastest lists, say that 5 times fast, the format must be race, then drive, then race again. You have to day one race to try and attempt your fastest pass. Can't be a test and tune. Drive at least. So here's how I'll word this. Events must average 80 miles between race days, meaning 4 race days would be a minimum of 240 miles, because theoretically you would have 3 overnight events during that. I say average because there are some events that will drive 40 miles one day and they'll drive 120 miles the next day. That would give us our 80-mile average between the 2 days of racing. So all I care about is 80 miles between race day average for your events. Okay. So if you hear of new drag and drive events that have not reached out to me, please let me know. I will update the list as often as I hear about these things. There are a few more events that are in the works heavily right now. So we are now up to 8 national quarter mile events and 3 national eighth mile events with BC Drag It Challenge, Miles of Mayhem, and Southeast Street and Yeet. Now, if the Southeast Street and Yeet fall edition is a 5-day event like the spring one is, that gives us 4 national eighth mile events plus Rocky Mountain and Sick Week have both or Rocky Mountain has always had 235 Rowdy Radio. Sick Week is adding 235 Rowdy Radio class for this year. So we're going to see some crazy stuff. I intend to, yes, run a full 235 eighth mile list and what I'm calling 275 plus eighth mile, simply because there's so few big tire cars that will be in these kind of events that I think that would be in those 3 or 4 possible eighth mile national events. You break it down from there. Regional events, we'll go over that in just a minute. Rocky Mountain Race Week sold out this morning in 2 minutes. Absolutely insane. Now they had their veteran registration yesterday. I don't have any background knowledge of how many racers returned from 1.0 2022 to sign up for race Rocky Mountain 1.0 2023. But I would say typically it's about 80%. And if they allow 300 cars, that would mean there's 80% of 300s, 240. So that means there's only 60 spots available to the public. You take out a few more than that, say there were 75 or 80 spots that are available to the general public. I love the veteran status that Rocky Mountain provides. One, because it allows you that you know for certain you're getting in the next year if you compete this year. As these national events become tighter and tighter to get into, you're going to need that kind of stuff. So sold out in 2 minutes. We move right into Midwest Drags. Their registration is open. One thing that I think is really cool about them, if you win your class at Midwest Drags, you automatically get free entry thanks to Mickey Thompson Tire for 2023, or if you win it this year, 2024. So I'm working on contacting those previous champions and seeing who's coming back. Who's coming back for free? I mean, think about that. If you could come back the next year for free, how awesome would that be? All you got to do is win your class at Midwest Drags. We're going to Virginia Motorsports Park, which is the fastest track in drag and drive history. We're going to Atco and Cecil. So for everybody that's whining and crying for the last 5 years in the Northeast about how there needs to be a drag and drive event, that's as close as you're getting, right? So sign up for Midwest Drags. Registration is open right now, but are you fast enough to attend Midwest Drags? They cut off at 12:09, which 10 and 12-second cars are the widest group of racers out there. So we have new for 2023 is a 10.0, 11.0, and 12.0 index for Street Machine Eliminator now, or whatever they're going to call that class now. I will be there as a pit announcer. I will be on the live stream talking to folks that are at home, all that kind of stuff. Oh man, hang on, just saying, let's jump over here real quick. Push to the Limits said he heard there were only 39 spots available. Sorry, I gotta fix my face here. There were only 39 spots available to the public. That's pretty wild right there. And then Brandon Parker said he is a yard sale here. I'll tell you, a trailer is much easier for sure. And Destroyer 1320, thank you so much, guys. Love that dude. If you're not following Destroyer 1320, you really need to do that. There we go. We're back in focus now. All right, let's talk about some day counts. Day count to Sick Week. Are you ready for this? 29 days. 29 days. It's absolutely crazy. I'm so excited about this event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Seeing everybody, it's kind of that first event of the year. We haven't had anything since November. We saw a few of our friends at PRI and Sick Week. I'll fly in again on Wednesday night or on Sunday night and be with you guys throughout the week. I have rented a minivan, so if you see the Drag and Drive Patrol running around, hang your hands out the window, say hi, slow down, look at the camera, smile and wave, because we're going to be doing a ton of content that is going to come from Sick Week. I have a person that's coming that I think is going to help with content gathering and then also their channel as well. If that is locked in, then we will have them on the show later to talk about, who they are and all that kind of stuff, introduce you guys to them. Southeast Street and Yeet, again, our first national 8th mile event of the year is in 79 days. Then we move to regional event news. Now, again, there are 2 regional events being planned right now later in the year. So as of right now, there are 12 regional events, and that is a mix of 8th mile and quarter mile tracks. The first one is, of course, our event, the Circuit Charity with Horsepower. We are raising money for the Northwest Arkansas Children's Shelter with a goal of raising $10,000 to donate to the shelter. 100-car limit, already sold out, can't get in. Get on the wait list. You can find more at thecircuitdnd.com. Send a submission for information there. I'll get with you, get you on the wait list. The wait list is about 35 cars right now. I am working with the track to see if we can get more spots available. The biggest thing is we want to, it's a closed track on Sunday, so we want to give people plenty of passes to make their best pass. And then Friday, obviously the track is opening up early for us to come in and do that before their test and tune. So I want to be limited on time. I want to give the racers of that event the best possible experience that they have, because we have so many new racers that are coming in for that. Cruise and Lose in Nebraska, Lincoln, or I can't remember the track. Somebody tag it over there. Cruise and Lose, 98 days away. And then King of the Open Road is all I have right now is end of May. So we literally have 3 regional events that are in the same region that are right up next to each other. And what's really cool about that is the Circuit's sold out. Cruise and Lose is sold out. Coder hasn't even opened their registration, but from the comments and conversations I see on their Facebook page and the Cruising Oklahoma page, they're going to sell out. They've sold out every event they've had. So I think we're really fixing to have the best year we've ever seen here. So 12 regional events. That is with only 3 of the King of the Open Road events populated. Jared had said earlier, I-29 and Kearney. Yeah, is Kyle Calkins there. Thank you very much. I'll put it up on the screen here in a minute for Cruise and Lose. Is I-29 and Kearney. Jared had said earlier, and I know they're still working on dates for everything, but he had said they had planned up to 6 events for 2023. So we'll see what happens. I hope that we end up with 6, because I think that would be awesome to have that big of a spread across quarter mile regional events. It'd be a lot of fun. So lastly, guys, get ready for the year. This is going to be crazy. Man, wow, we ended up going almost 30 minutes here. dragondrive.com/shop for all of your official Drag and Drive merch. Guys, we've got stuff coming that I can't even talk about yet. I'm so excited. One last round of comments here. Yep. We got Kyle Calkins say yard sale, wagon life. Dude, I think if you have a wagon, you probably have to do that. And then Fast Ranger Motorsports, let's go 2023. Are we going to see 3,500 competitors? Can we double 2022's number of competitors for 2023 and absolutely blow people's mind? I sure hope so. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for a 2-hour Drag and Drive show. It's going to be awesome. Cool guests, tons of knowledge, and it allows us to throw in a lot more in-depth information than what I could have gone through this morning, because we try and keep it under 30 minutes, but it's 12:30. I got to get inside. Later, guys.